Hello, and welcome to the second episode. That was unplanned in advance, but I kind of had to do because thank you, Spotify for podcasters, for stopping letting us record on the app. Yay! So I have to learn a whole new way to record, and since the app that I learned no longer available, wonderful. It is mostly my fault. I didn't prepare any backups. But I did notice on the last episode that's already been released, you can't hear any of my sound effects, which is brilliant. And because of that, I won't be using any sound effects on this episode. If my voice sounds a little gravelly, that's because the now 4-year-old, he just had his birthday, that I work with, got me sick last weekend. I'm having a great time, guys. Okay, let's get started. Hi, I'm EmKay Archlink. I'm the founder of Archlink LLC, author of Unseen Powers, and a self-proclaimed advocate for those with autism spectrum disorder. I was professionally diagnosed with level 2 autism spectrum disorder in September of 2022. And I've been working to educate myself on the topic ever since. I'm here to help destigmatize neurodivergencies, starting with autism. With that being said, welcome to RAW-tism, a podcast about my autistic experience and opinions on the world. On this podcast, I will be raw and unfiltered. Whether you listen to enjoy, hate listen, or just leave it playing on mute to support me, I appreciate the effort you put into my little program. Thank you! You are always welcome to disagree with me as long as you do so respectfully and with no name calling. I love you all. If you enjoy this podcast, please consider rating and reviewing RAW-tism to help others find me. Ensure you're following RAW-tism on your preferred podcast streaming service so you never miss an episode. We post a new episode every Monday, but you never know when we'll throw in a special treat during the week. Okay, today's topic is get over it. I have 2 Reddit stories to share with you guys about pretty much people thinking that we need to get over the symptoms of our autism. But newsflash, it's not that simple. You can't just get over it. That's how we got the autism diagnosis, because it's distressing enough to affect our lives. But anyway, let's get started with the first story. These are both from Am I the A-hole? I'm going to try not to swear in this episode because I don't want to have to mark it as explicit. But am I the a-hole for telling my autistic girlfriend to just deal with toppings on a pizza to save money? And I will tell you right now, it's probably yes. For context, we are extremely poor and have less than $200 in our bank account. Okay, it says my, but I think they meant I wanted to order pizza. So I said, hey, here's this coupon for 40% off any large pizza with 3 toppings. That coupon could save us a ton of money, which we could spend on other things like gas for the car. I told her this, and she starts talking about how her autism makes her not like certain textures. Valid. I tell her that 40% off is 40% off, and that she can just pull the toppings she doesn't like off the pizza. She then compares what I said to insulting a person in a wheelchair, as if her autism texture thing is as serious as someone who literally can't walk. I tell her that we're poor and need to save every penny, and sometimes we have to do things we don't necessarily like to get by. Then she says that I'm saying this because of my ego. Am I the a-hole for essentially telling her to suck it up and save money? Yes, you are. Because, first of all, there are other ways to do it where you can get the coupon without needing 3 toppings. Also, the texture thing, she will not be able to physically eat the dang pizza if it has the wrong texture. Like, people don't understand how big of a deal it is. Texture can be a huge turn on or turn off when it comes to eating, drinking, all these things. If I feel sand on something, I am gone. My entire body just turns to dust I'm dead. Okay, that might be a little dramatic, but it just shows you it's a big deal. When I get sand on me, everything goes out the window because that texture makes me lose my mind. If I eat something like Jell-O, the texture of Jell-O, I can't even chew, my mouth stops working, I can't even swallow. It's not happening. It's leaving my mouth or I am leaving this earth. Again, that last part was a little dramatic. But texture is a really big deal for autistic people. And honestly, does this person say their gender? No. But honestly, the significant other to this autistic girlfriend needs to no longer be their significant other. The girlfriend does not deserve to be treated this way. Okay, the first comment agrees with me, says they're the a-hole. You can make coupons like that work with innocuous toppings like extra cheese or by putting toppings on half the pizza. The deal isn't a deal if it's inedible to her. It's just wasted money. If you need to save money that badly, do not order in food. It is almost always more expensive than cooking at home. Freaking men. Like, I've had this trouble in the past where I would get cheap things to eat to save money, but then I would never really eat it. I didn't like to eat it, so I just stopped eating. And that wasn't healthy for my body. So in the end, it was wasting what little money I spent on those cheap meals. And now I eat healthier, even though it's a little more expensive. Luckily, my fiance does the grocery shopping, so I don't always know how much my food costs, which really helps me with that. But I completely agree. If it's inedible to half the people eating it, it's a waste. That's waste of half a pizza. Even if the significant other eats the whole thing, what's the girlfriend supposed to eat? The plan was it for both of them. So it's just not a good use of money. The money was for both of them to eat. Okay, so there's a reply to that comment. Or just order a 3-topping pizza and only get the toppings you want. Or order half and half with one side bare. This is a non-issue. Yep. It's not that hard. Okay, another one. God, I hate their username. This username is a play. I'm not going to say it out loud, but it's a play off the R word. And that made me very upset. But I'm not here to judge people's usernames. If you cannot decide and come to a conclusion together on the toppings, don't get the effing pizza. If toppings are causing arguments related to finance, just don't get pizza. It's not worth the stress of being poor and being unhappy with each other. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy pizza when poor and to eat canned vegetables for every meal. Don't recommend that. It's not great. I'm saying if you can't effing decide on pizza, there's no point in getting a pizza that'll only cause arguments. Boom. Word. That's it. And they also suggest going to a store and buying 3 frozen pizzas for the price of 1 fresh restaurant pizza, which they got a point there. They have a lot more advice, but I'm not going to go through every single one. Basically, yeah, texture is a big deal, and it's a waste of money to buy food for both of you that only one of you is actually going to eat. But honestly, I just don't think these two are meant to be together. I don't think that the significant other is in a position to have an autistic girlfriend. I got lucky. My first relationship is going to end in marriage and hopefully going to be my only relationship, but life happens. So I don't want to think about that. That's so sad. Anyway, I got lucky with that, and the first person I found is my one and only, and my fiance is amazing with my autism. He was amazing with my autism before I was even diagnosed. He just figured me out and was able to treat me respectfully, and whenever I had a problem, we just talk it out. The only fighting we really do is joking. We mess with each other and fight, but we know we're doing it jokingly. We don't have fights over things like this because We respect each other enough to understand, yes, I have a bunch of needs that don't exactly make sense with the way his brain works, but he knows I have these needs and they're valid. He would never try to force me to eat something that the texture would make me not eat. Either I'm just going to eat something that's at home while he goes out and get food, or we're going to find something that works best for both of us. There's no option of forcing me. So it makes me very sad to see people already diagnosed with autism. It wasn't like me where I got into a relationship and I didn't know yet, are already in a relationship. They're already the autistic girlfriend to the allistic person who doesn't respect her. That makes me so upset. You already know you are autistic and you're letting yourself get disrespected because you think you're in love. And you may be in love. I'm not putting down anyone's relationship, but if your significant other does not respect you and your disability, then honestly, they're not worth it. Because autism is a part of you. Autism isn't a separate element. I don't know how to better explain it. I am autism. That's not all I am, but I am still autism. I am blonde. My hair is naturally blonde. That's not all I am, but I am still blonde. This autistic girlfriend is still autistic. She is autistic. She has sensitivities to textures. The texture you are trying to feed her is not going to work out. So you're either going to traumatize her and make her sick, or she's not eating. None of these are options. So the significant other needs to learn to respect the autistic girlfriend, or they need to not have an autistic girlfriend. That's about it. I know I'm being blunt, but woohoo, autism that's one of the stereotypes. We are blunt. Okay. There's one more comment that I want to share. It says, "You have no idea how autism affects people. If you're going to be a part of this girl's life, you need to do a bit of research and grow up a bit. Sell your Xbox and buy her a real meal." Edit OP, which is the original poster, the person who made the original post, for those of you who don't go on Reddit. OP, how can you make fun of your girlfriend's issues? When looking at your post history, you have your own issues. If she's brought these up, you would be pretty annoyed. Oh, burn! That was too much for my getting over a cold throat. But that commenter has a point. All this person is looking at is their girlfriend's issues. Yeah, she's autistic, but that doesn't mean she's the only one in the relationship with problems. And it might be annoying to have an autistic person you need to quote unquote cater to, but if you can't handle it, you shouldn't have an autistic person in your life, period. It's just part of the experience. Here's the second story. This one's actually from r/autism. The other one was from Am I the A-hole? Which again, I think I'm doing pretty well not swearing, so I don't have to mark this as explicit. I'm not editing this episode, that's why it's an unscripted episode, so that's why I need to not swear. For normal episodes, I'm able to bleep it out. Okay. Broke up with ex-boyfriend after he made an incredibly insensitive, quote-unquote, joke about my autism. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Okay. I was diagnosed with autism last week. Ooh, a freshie. Okay. The next day, while we were out for lunch, my ex looked me dead in my face and said, "I need a new girlfriend. This one has too many diagnoses." Nothing against this person. They had every right to break up with their boyfriend for the insensitive joke, but that's a joke me and my fiance make all the time, but that's only because I have anxiety and I always asked him, like, if I do get another diagnosis, are you going to break up with me? And he's just like, no, but he'll joke, like, oh, if you get one more, I'm going to break up with you. That's too many. But I know it's a joke. And he's very sensitive about my feelings toward my diagnoses. So that just made me laugh so hard because he has said those words. I need a new girlfriend. This one has, the one that I have has too many diagnoses. he has said those words. So that's why it made me laugh so hard. But there's a time and a place, and you have to be the right person with the right person to make these kind of jokes. So in my relationship, it works. But obviously in this relationship, it didn't work. Because she continues to say, and then proceeded to watch me cry in the restaurant we were having lunch at. Oh my god. Just watched you cry, didn't even try to comfort you? If you understood what swear word went into my head by my tone of voice, I love you. Okay. When I tried to talk to him about it, he said, I can't deal with you going quiet for 30 minutes and crying in front of everybody like this. You're trying to make me look bad. Looks like I gotta beat a mofo's a-hole. God, this is making me furious. I was laughing so hard because it reminded me of my relationship, and then it took a turn. If my fiance made a joke and it didn't got taken well by me, he would freaking comfort me. He wouldn't complain that I got upset. He would talk to me. This is another person who doesn't deserve their girlfriend. Oh my god, okay. I was done and walked out of the restaurant. Then he got even madder. Madder is in all caps. And threatened to leave because I walked out of the restaurant. If she walked out of the restaurant, they're already leaving. Maybe he meant like leave without her, like if he drove. He said I embarrassed him. Not a single apology or even an I was joking. Wow. You're gonna make a bad joke and not even call it a joke to defend yourself? I don't know if that's better or worse. The people are just like, it's just a joke. But not a single apology or even an I was joking until 3 hours later after we got into a heated argument about it. So he saw this reaction and waited until 3 hours later to say I was joking and apologize. But heated argument, so obviously he didn't apologize, like, genuinely. And once again, this is not a relationship that should be happening. You shouldn't get... This is a mess. This is not communication. If you're serious about this relationship, you need to do therapy or find something that works for you. But this is not going to turn out good in the long run. I'm sure I have anxious attachment as well and have broken up and gotten back with this man countless times. Oh, honey. I was happy for you because the first thing is I broke up with my boyfriend because of the insensitive joke. But now you say you get back together with him countless times. So chances are that she might be back with him right now as we speak. God, honey, I know it's hard. I've had very toxic friends, and it broke my heart to cut them out of my life. And I know it's probably harder with significant others. I've never been through a breakup. Thankfully, I've only done platonic breakups. But, honey, respect yourself. If someone can't treat you with respect the way you want to be treated with respect, then maybe you shouldn't be with them. Because someone's got it wrong. Either you have it wrong with how you want your respect to be, or they've got it wrong with how they respect you. And in this case, they got it wrong with how they respect you. That is not respect. That is victim blaming. Anyway, there's a bunch of comments. You did the right thing. Don't treat his rudeness as a joke. Find someone that actually respects you. You don't deserve someone who treats you like that. Okay, so someone gives advice that says, find someone who complements your triggers. What they mean by that is someone who can, like, fit your puzzle piece. But someone replied and said, those are some nice triggers you got there. They look really good on you. Being literally complimenting your triggers instead of being someone who can connect with you and be respectful of your triggers without demeaning you. Those are some nice triggers you've got there. They look really good on you. That's got, are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see energy. It's got that energy. Okay. He insulted you in public and then shamed you for being upset in public. This man is treating you like dog poop. Don't go back. Amen. Good riddance. He's doing you no good. You did the right thing, don't get back with them. He uses the word joke as an excuse for ableism and verbal abuse. Please block him and fully focus on yourself, and you deserve your friendship and attention. Aw, that's sweet. Okay. Those are the 2 stories I had. And I just wanted to say, these were all my opinions. Yes, I'm working towards being an autism expert, but that doesn't mean I can give relationship advice to autistics just because I'm in a relationship and I'm autistic and I'm working to be an autistic expert. Well, in reality, I'm working to become a neurodivergency expert, semantics. But I'm just saying, my opinion isn't law. Honestly, you could think my opinions are stupid. I don't care. This podcast is for me to try to share with the world the autistic experience, how I experience it, and my journey becoming an autistic expert, so that I can help people understand autism better, understand themselves better if they have autism, understand their loved ones better. These 2 stories are not how autism is in relationships all of the time. Probably not even half the time. My relationship turned out great. And I'm not like 1 in a million. There are a bunch of autistic people I know who are in good relationships. There are people who I know are in relationships with autistic people. I know 2 autistic people who got married in this past year. One of them I'm friends with their now wife, and the other one I was friends with them. And they both got married. Whoop-de-doo. I'm getting married. Whoop-de-doo. There can be healthy relationships even for those who are considered mentally disabled. So don't give up hope, but don't let people treat you this way, because you deserve I know it's scary to be alone, but trust me, you'd rather be alone than feel alone surrounded by people. That's not a life to live. And I know I don't have an experience with not having my person, because I've been with my fiance for 5 years. We're getting married. They were my first person and going to be my last again, hopefully. But I've also had a relationship with friends that I only kept because I didn't want to be friendless, and I had to let those go. And now, my close friends, I can count on one hand, but I can trust every single one of them to not cause some high school BS drama. I trust all of them to not make me mask my autism, and I trust all of them to treat me with respect, and they all know that if they don't treat me with respect and they won't talk it out with me like mature adults, they're getting dropped, because I do not deal with disrespect. That's not how I'm living my life. So you don't have to be like me. You don't. I'd recommend it. It might work out for you. Might not. But this is just the vibe I'm giving y'all. Okay. Before I read the outro, I do want to say, every time I think about this episode, the theme, Get Over It, I think of the Leah Kate song. Give me a minute. Get over it. Leah Kate. It's Leah Kate, right? Yeah. Leah Kate. Her song, Don't Get Over It, Get Even, from her new album, Super Over, which, by the way, I like 90% of the songs on that album. It's great. But anyway, every time I read Get Over It, I just think, crash his car, go make out with his friends, call the cops and tip him off that he's been dealing, get him fired from his job when you post all his texts, don't get over it, get even, leave it home and leave him waiting in some hotel line, make him keep on saying that you'll be there in 10. Nothing helps a girl move on like a little revenge, so don't get over it, don't over it. Get even. I just keep thinking, don't get over it, get even. So every time I see that title, Get Over, I'm like, don't get over it, get even. Which I don't recommend revenge, but I do recommend revenge songs, because that shiz hits. It's hard. Like, Before He Cheats. What's another? I Hope. That's a good one. There's some really good revenge songs. But again, I don't recommend getting revenge in real life. I just recommend getting the vibes from the songs. Yeah. Okay. That's CBD. That's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next week, we'll be back to our regular scheduled program because I'm going to do my best to edit an episode. I have a little over I have like a week and a half before that episode. Like at this point where I'm recording this, I have a week and a half until that episode is supposed to air. I don't know if air is the right word anymore. But since I have that amount of time, I should be able to get it done and get it edited decent enough to be worthy of y'all. Again, please don't crucify me if there's mistakes. I'm still learning this new program because I effed myself over. And yeah, that's my fault. But you guys are gonna reap what I sowed. So sorry. I hope everything works out for the best though. And if you have any recommendations to how I can use Riverside, the new editing system better, or if you have any recommendations for a new editing system I can use instead, let me know. And as always, I love you. I do much better with a script. Okay. Let me pull that up so that I can be sane again. Me being sane, that's hilarious. Okay. As always, I'm not here to shame anyone. I'm not even here to tell you what or how to think. I'm here to share the autistic experience with you from someone who is studying for their graduate certification in autism spectrum disorder. Someone who, for the first 22 years of their life, was under the impression that they were allistic. And as someone who since September 30th, 2022, has finally found their place in the world. I am autistic. I am a part of the autistic community, and I'm proud of it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Regardless of your thoughts and feelings toward me, I have a love for every one of you. You are wanted by many, you are loved by many, and so many want you to stay in this world. I am one of these manys, and always will be. If you'd like to support this podcast, the description includes links with referral codes, Circles water bottles, pair eyewears, customizable glasses, and my favorite Amazon products. The transcript for this episode can be found for free on my Patreon, which is also linked below. Would you like to see more of me? In that case, visit EmKayArchlink.com for links to my other content. A new episode of RAW-tism comes out every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts. The next week's episodes of RAW-tism are posted on Patreon every Tuesday. Karaoke videos are posted on Patreon every Thursday. Lastly, my book Unseen Powers is available in hardback, paperback, or digitally through Amazon. Remember to drink water, eat some nummies, and have your best life. Okay, I gotta remember how to turn this off. Oh, the button that says stop. Emily, that makes sense.